But if you want to be 100% better, if you want to be unrecognizable, if you truly want to say, okay, in the next 90 days, I'm going to put my head down, I'm going to do the work, you need to set some terms and conditions. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Girl Talk. This is season 2, and I am so glad to have you all here. It was a really great and much needed holiday break. I hope you all had a absolutely magnificent and wonderful holiday season, and just an absolutely wonderful start to the year 2024. I'm so glad to be back here with y'all on Girl Talk, and we are in for a really amazing season and a really amazing year, okay? Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you have notifications on. I don't know. Make sure you're following me on the socials. They'll be in the description box of this video and wherever this podcast is posted as well. And I just have so many amazing things planned. And I hope that you decide to stick around if this is your first time tuning into Girl Talk. If it is not your first time, welcome back. And I hope you decide to stick around for our second season and all of our upcoming seasons this year in 2024. As you can tell by the title, we are talking about how to become unrecognizable in the next 90 days. In the first 3 months of the year, how can you become unrecognizable from who either you were last year or who you've always been your entire life? How can you become unrecognizable not only to the people that are in your day-to-day life, but to yourself? I think it is so important to look at your personal development as the thing that is most important for you. You see your reflection on a daily basis. And so when I always see people talk about this topic of becoming unrecognizable, they generally talk about it as becoming unrecognizable to, to the people that are around you. And that's great to become unrecognizable to the people in your life and those that are around you. But you look at yourself 1,000 million times a day. I don't know about you, but I got 7 mirrors in my house. So I'm seeing my reflection on a constant basis. So personally, I want to be unrecognizable to myself, most importantly, because I'm looking at me, seeing me every single day. And yeah, so I only have one tip today that you need to do. Implementing this thing is how you are going to become unrecognizable in the next 90 days. And that thing is setting your terms and conditions and sticking to your terms and conditions. I guess that's technically 2 things. Anyway, set some terms and conditions and stick to your terms and conditions. That's it. That's all I got for y'all. No, I'm kidding. But seriously, so I learned this technique a few years ago, and it basically changed my life, just like most things. So a lot of times when we are looking to change our life, when we want to become unrecognizable to who we are or who we've always been, we can think that there's this whole list of things that we have to do and implement and become. We got to go work out. We got to change our career. We got to start all these new habits and routines. And yes, you do want to implement some new things. But ultimately, at the end of the day, the reason why you haven't become unrecognizable, the reason why you haven't become the new version of yourself, the reason why you haven't become a high value woman, the reason why you haven't stepped into your highest level of self and being is because you don't have any terms and conditions. And we all know what terms and conditions are. I hope that we all know. If not, go look at any website, go to any business. The last thing you subscribed to, there were some terms and conditions. They told you what was going to happen. And they said, this is what we're going to do, and this is what you're going to do. And a lot of times, we don't become the next level of ourselves. We don't step into the next version of ourselves because we don't have any terms and conditions. We don't say, this is what I'm doing, and this is what I'm not doing. This is what others are going to do, and this is what they're not going to do. This is how I'm going to take things in, and this is what I'm not going to take in. And so you need to sit down and set your terms and conditions. Literally sit down tonight at your laptop, take out your notebooks, whatever it is, and take 30 or 40 minutes to write out your terms and conditions for 2024. What is it that you will not do? What is it that you will do? What is it, if you do this, then this will happen. If you go here, then that will happen. If you step there, then that foot's going to go over there. Literally sit down and write it all out. And that's how you're going to become unrecognizable in the next 90 days. If you have the desire to step into being a high value woman, you need to sit down and say, okay, as a high value woman, looking towards the future, because you're not considering who you are right now because you're not her yet. So you can't be thinking about who you are right now, who you've been, all that. That's out the door, girl. We didn't think about that. Sit down and say, okay, if I was this version of myself, when I am this version of myself, what needs to happen? What goes into place of that? What are the terms and the conditions of that version of myself? Write all that down. Now that you have the terms and conditions, you have to act out all of those terms and conditions every single day. And when I say act out, I'm saying act out because a lot of times we may write the plan, we may even write the terms and conditions and say, okay, I'm no longer available for this. If this happens, that's going to happen, whatever. But then we kind of just push it to the back of our mind. It becomes something that's in the background, in the transparentness of life, and it's not something that we're constantly adhering to on a daily basis. And that's why you don't become the next level of yourself. That's why you see year after year that you're still showing up as the same version of yourself. Maybe you've had small tweaks here and there. Maybe you've shifted a little bit over here, over there, and maybe you're just about 2% better than you were last year. But if you want to be 100% better, if you want to be unrecognizable, if you truly want to say, okay, in the next 90 days, I'm going to put my head down, I'm going to do the work, you need to set some terms and conditions, and you need to act them out each and every day. If acting them out means you need to paste them next to your mirror, so every single day you get up in the morning and you see those terms and conditions and you remember them, great, perfect, do that. I had to do that for a few years. Not years, but I had to do that in the beginning. I had to do that in the beginning for a few things in my life, and it truly helped me because you don't want to let your new terms and conditions, your what you wills and what you won't do's, become something that are just background noise, background music, something that you can barely hear. They need to be loud in your face every single day. Turn the volume all the way up, girl. You want to hear that thing, okay? That's how you're going to become unrecognizable in the next 90 days. I don't know what your terms and conditions are. I don't know what you need to do, what you don't need to do. Only you know that. Only you can decide that. You can't go to the next guru or the other guru over there or the next coach or the other teacher over there or the next master class or take this program or take that program. No one can actually tell you how to become unrecognizable in the next 90 days because they are not you and they are not living your life. You are you. You are living your life. The only thing you need to do is sit down, set your terms and conditions, and stick to them. If I purchase something from a business and they tell me what the terms and conditions are, and I click that little box, yes, I'm going to adhere to the terms and conditions. Yes, I agree to the terms and conditions. And then I go back and say, hey, actually, I bought this thing and I said I agree, but you know what? Actually, this doesn't work for me anymore. Now I want you to do this and this and that. No, babe, that's not how it works. I already agreed. We're already moving forward. So you have to say, this is what I'm doing. This is what's happening. This is what I'm sticking to. Click agree and keep moving forward. And they can't decide for me in my life. I have to decide for me in my life. So that's literally the only thing you need to do to become unrecognizable in the next 90 days. It's really quite that simple. When I was first implementing this in my life, I can't tell you how many times I set new terms and conditions for certain things in my life, certain areas of my life, like maybe my finances or relationships, and then I reverted back to old levels of myself or completely forgot what the terms and conditions that I had set were and just didn't do them and didn't follow them. But it took me some time. And that's why I started pasting them to put a little post-it note up against my mirror so that every morning I could see them. But it took me a little time and it wasn't an overnight change. I don't know if it took me exactly 90 days. Maybe if I had pasted them up against my mirror in the beginning, it would have took me only 90 days. Set some terms and conditions. And you don't have to have 20 or 30 things. You can have 5, 10 things, 2 things. on your terms and conditions. That's really all you need, girl, to become unrecognizable to yourself. And it'll honestly be a domino effect. Once you start to implement one thing and change one area of your life, you're going to say, wow, things are shifting, and things are shifting fast. Let me move on to the next area. Let me do the next thing. So it's truly a domino effect. And then all of a sudden your entire life is unrecognizable. You're making more money, you got better friends, you look better, you're skinnier, you got clear skin, you got a new car, you got a new man, everything, girl, everything just falls into place, okay? But I want you to implement that this year in 2024. And that's how we're starting over here on Girl Talk. We are becoming unrecognizable to who we've been, who we are, or who we used to be in the first 90 days of this year, okay? You are going to look at yourself in April of this year and say, oh my goodness, who was that girl? Who was that person in January? I don't know her. Yeah, okay, I don't know her. Anyways, I hope y'all take that tip and apply it. If you are planning to become a new version of yourself this year, it's not going to take you 365 days. I don't want it to take you 365 days. Please don't let it take you 365 days. I will shame you, okay? DeJhauna will shame you if it takes you 365 days to become a new version of yourself. We're not doing that anymore. We're changing, and we're changing rapidly, okay? You don't have time to waste anymore. You don't. Become a new version of yourself today. Decide today that you want better for yourself. Decide today that you want more for yourself. Decide today that you're going to go for more. You're going to go for better, okay? You're going to become a new version of yourself in the next 90 days or less. It literally don't take that long, okay? It's really just a decision. Set those terms and conditions. Let me know in the comments what one of the terms and conditions are that you're going to be sticking to for your own life in 2024 in the next 90 days. And when I say the next 90 days, it's not just like, okay, after 90 days, I no longer need to stick to these terms and conditions. I can go do something different. No, baby, these are part of your life now, girl. This is who you are. And that's the thing I love about terms and conditions is this is who you are. These are stamped, set in stone. Maybe not for real, but they are. Okay? They really are. And there's no going back to who you used to be, what you used to do, or anything like that. You can't go back on your own word once you set your terms and conditions, all right? As always, leave me a comment, say hello, Happy New Year. I love hearing from y'all. Share this video with a friend who is also on their journey to becoming unrecognizable in the next 90 days. Share this with a friend who's like, this is my year. I'm stepping into my high value woman era. This is my year. I'm stepping into my successful woman era. This is my year. I'm stepping into my highest level of self era. Okay, send this to them and they can join the journey with us. As always, I love you and I appreciate you, and I will see you on the next one, or you will hear me on the next one. Make sure you are subscribed to all those socials. The links are in my bio. We've got lots of good things going on over on LinkedIn. We're still on Instagram and TikTok. Those are a little bit in hiatus, but definitely make sure you're following there. So when I am back, girl, when I'm back, you don't miss anything. Okay? See you in the next one.